We have similar problems in other sites, and I'll take a site which is the middle of the town, Ayutthaya, where the site is purely managed by finance department without proper integration really with the local municipal authorities. So we have all of these entities. So while we are all presenting wonderful ideas on what to do, the real problem is how to do it and how to get it done. And the real problem is the kind of structures that are in place. So if we want to change the visitor experience, if we want to change the management, we have to have these open discussions, honest discussions on the less interesting but very important aspects of administration, structures, decision-making procedures, who makes the decision, who participates in the decision, who benefits from these decisions. And these are things that have to happen here at Sukhothai, and they also have to happen in some of the other heritage sites in Thailand. And I think this is a discussion that the finance department should also engage with, as well as some of the provincial authorities. So I think this is a real issue. I think Thailand is incredibly resourceful. Thailand understands tourism very well, better than many countries. Thailand has a long history of accepting tourists. What is a question is how Thailand is managing the heritage. I will just come back now to the interpretation. And why interpretation? I have no problem with Chinese tourists. I have a problem with mass tourists, that's all. Whether they're from China or from the West. I think the question about Sukhothai is also one that is very Thai. It is a very important site for the country. Every Thai child learns about Sukhothai in high school. So every Thai child, when an adult will come to Sukhothai with an idea, with a history background that has a meaning that none of us could have. That's fine. That's normal. That's the kind of tourism that should be happening in this place. That is heritage tourism. That's good. So all of those dimensions need to be connected, but for those and they could be done through visual interpretation, supplemented by transport, all of these things. But the mechanisms for implementation and the mechanisms for decision making are not in place in a way that is satisfactory. So I would just say that. Thank you.
Just a moment. Just a moment. We need Patricia's and then to the audience. You and Susan. You can ask another question.
I only want to say that some of the participants' answers can be done with at the second section, because I don't want to repeat things, but some of those issues will be relevant to the second session, and some suggestions, observation can be passed there.
Okay, there's no clear cut actually between the tango in the first and the second session, so it's you know, but it's okay if you would like to have to express something now, you can. Do you have any questions or comments to give right now? Regarding this? Okay, fine, sure.
I don't want to take 10 minutes of time.
10 minutes.
One comment.
Can you do like 3 minutes? If you can. 3 minutes.
I am very encouraged by the fact that I think it was team, or very much team, and the residents here are saying, well, we are the real people. Oh. I'm Agnieszka Kiera from. I'm Agnieszka Kiera from Australia, but also half from Poland. I am very encouraged by the fact that Tim and Randel and the residents here, local residents, are raising those issues. Because we keep saying, we should do this, we should deliver, we have to integrate, we have to transfer the knowledge, and no one says who are we. And I think that Tim raised a very important point, because the residents are also saying we should be one, and even the division is at the municipality versus community. So how can you integrate and bring into not only discussion but into delivering those ideas we have as outcomes on the ground? So how would you decide, should we remove the fence, put the fence, or how the city actually becomes a living, evolving city with this heritage site as part of it, not one heritage site sterilized, researched, interpreted here and city over there. And it doesn't belong anymore to people, and it is supposed to be their heritage. They are supposed to evolve with it and make it work. So how do we bring the UNESCO, national government, provincial government, tourism authority, local government, local businesses, local politicians, community citizens, tourists, and other sides like e-commerce or professionals to work together as one? Well, I've got an answer, but I would prefer not to take up your time. I mean, I've got the answer from my experience. I mean, I don't know if this is a tie-out.
Thank you. You actually consolidated the question that the other room and the gentleman back there were just asking, how we make it into a real action, with collaboration more and coordination among agencies. Actually, it's a very good point indeed. So may I come back to Patricia and then more questions from the other room and the audience is here as well. Thank you. So Patricia, go ahead.
I just wanted to briefly say that there is a growing interest in the dialogue about good governance. And good governance is inclusive governance. And what inclusive means is that people at all levels have access to the dialogues about the future. And one of the models we've used in the United States is community vision planning. And community vision planning requires, at all levels, starting with the people who live in a place, engaging in a dialogue that is respectful and what I would call active listening. So this term active listening means you don't just give the person the floor to speak, you hear them. And I think the issue is really to try to bring some of this future vision planning to Sukhothai with real engagement over a longer term. The kind of future visioning for communities sometimes takes 2 years and many meetings, like a monthly meeting for 2 years, and exchanges in between and individual dialogues with parts of the decision making. So it's probably a process you're not familiar with, and one of the problems with that kind of a process is people not sticking with it. So it's really a process where people have to make a commitment to stick with it, and municipal people who are assigned to it have to be kept in the positions to stick with it. And people in the community have to stick with it. So what I'm suggesting is that this kind of vision planning, which is what Randy was saying when he says, what's the future of tourism? And he said, the future starts with what the future of the community is. So if the community creates a vision plan where it clarifies its objectives that are shared objectives, there is a way you can walk together.
Okay. We are running short of time, so Randy, and then we will get the last round of comment. I have just some here, and from Sue, and back to the table, and then we finish this session, okay? So we need to take a break. Randy.
So I'll make a brief point. When I was thinking about market research and community input, Tim made a great point about how Thai tourism is so successful. And I talk about this a lot in my global presentations. The Thai are among the most successful in the world at tourism. And it's because at the national level, you have a phenomenal entry policy. Visas are available. Visas are not required of few people. And you have a fabulous airport, and you have a big smile. Thai smiles are a big thing. So there's so much you do right. But because Thailand has been so successful, I picked up in the last few days that one of the fears of the community is, do we become like Pattaya? And, you know, because Thailand has the best of the best and the worst of the worst in tourism. And so part of the process has to be some education of, you know, what can we do here that will preserve our culture, preserve our respect, our dignity, and it can all be done. But part of this process would be that education process for the local people to know what the positive potential is.
Okay, we have 5 comments or questions here from another room. We will go quite briefly and then go to Sue and back to the table when we close. These two I can answer myself. The other room also come from Kampang Phet sites, which is one of the 3 sustainable heritage. He said, why not we talking about Kampang Phet at all? I can answer this myself, sorry, the other room, but I will answer to you in Thai right now. คืออย่างนี้นะครับคือว่าเรามีเวลากับมีทรัพยากรไม่พอเพราะว่าพื้นที่ใหญ่มากเรามีปัญหาเยอะมากก็เลยต้องขอโทษด้วยคือคราวนี้เราเอาพื้นที่สุโขทัยกับศรีสัชนาลัยเนี่ยเป็นแค่ตัวอย่างก่อนนะฮะเพราะว่าไม่งั้นนี่จะไม่สามารถมาไปดูได้ทั้งหมดมันพื้นที่มันกว้างใหญ่ไพศาลมากอันนี้ต้องขอโทษด้วยนะครับแล้วเดี๋ยวคราวหน้านะฮะคราวหน้าจะพยายามทำให้ได้นะครับขอบคุณมากโอเค that's the first answer and the next one is just a comment I think the next one is about the infrastructure and facility utility system. He said that we actually have quite, you know, a number of good facilities here, but lack of maintenance. I think that everyone should agree on this, and then we should continue on the maintenance and, you know, maintain it. And we need to find a responsible people who should do the maintenance of this. Okay. And the last one is about the land title deeds. Briefly, this person says that outside the fence or outside the ancient wall, I'm not sure of the meaning, they have land title deeds. But inside the ancient wall, we do not have land title deeds. I think it's related with the management of the FAD. If you can make it, you know, equal for everyone, then it means that if we are equal on that issue, then we can, you know, stay on the same ground and participate and cooperate at the same level on everything. I mean, in terms of standard of infrastructure